Bad news, everyone. Ravens rundown. It's getting its butt kicked by our Browns channel here at Chat Sports. That's embarrassing for me, for you, and especially for producer Jeremy, whose job it is to run this channel. So if you want producer Chugs to keep his job, make sure you subscribe to Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. Let's catch our Browns channel and rub it in Matthew Peterson's in his face. We'll have some fun with that one. No dirtiness intended there. Hit that big red button and subscribe to Ravens Rundown for more free videos. Tom Downey for Chat Sports here on Ravens Rundown. Today's video is a look at Mel Kiper's draft grade for the Baltimore Ravens. Now, if you've been watching any of our live coverage or watched any of our live coverage, you know how I feel about that class. We'll get into Mel's thoughts. But first, the Deebo Samuel trade rumors continue to percolate out there as the Niners say they're not going to trade him. They turn down offers from teams like the Jets and the Lions, I believe, who then took receivers early on. With the trade of Marquise Brown, the Ravens have a fairly significant need at the wide receiver spot. And let me say this. I think the idea of adding Deebo Samuel to this offense is just wildly intriguing because you got Rashad Bateman. Okay, he can be probably more of your number 2 at this stage in his NFL career. Devin Duvernay can handle slot duties. James Prochet, okay, Tyler Wallace. Imagine Deebo Samuel in this offense, and imagine, assuming he's okay with it, if not he's a great receiver, utilizing him in the backfield with Lamar Jackson. Imagine the read option. But it's Deebo Samuel, J.K. Dobbins rotating, doing maybe even some triple option stuff back there. Deebo in this Ravens offense as just the guy who gets all of the touches as a receiver and even as a runner at times, as long as he's okay with that, is highly intriguing to me. You were, I think, going to allocate some money to Marquise Brown. Why not allocate that and some more to Deebo Samuel instead? So producer Jeremy and I on the same page here. Let's get the Deebo to Baltimore train going and get him in a Ravens uniform. His gold visor, it still looks fire in the Ravens purple and gold. So let's make that happen. If you agree with me, if you want to trade for Deebo Samuel, type T in the comments. If you don't, that's all good. Type in P for pass. This question is the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here, I want you guys to take advantage of it. Head down there, type in T for trade or P for pass. Now we're going to get into the Mel Kiper draft grades. Mel and I don't often agree. Frequently we disagree on prospects. But we do agree this time around that the Ravens friggin' crushed this draft. The picks, the early ones, right? Kyle Hamilton, the safety from Notre Dame. Tyler Linderbaum out of Iowa. David Ajabo out of Michigan. Travis Jones from UConn. Daniel Faalele out of Minnesota. Jalen Armour Davis from Bama. Charlie Kohler from Iowa State. We're not going to talk about the punter. Isaiah Likely, the tight end from Coastal Carolina. Demarion Williams, the quarterback from Houston. And Tyler Beatty, who I want to call Tyler Batty because he is a baddie on the football field. The Ravens had one of, if not the outright best draft, which is what Mel Kiper thought about this class as well. Here were his overall thoughts. Kyle Hamilton, number 14, my top-ranked safety and number 4 overall prospect. Tyler Linderbaum, my top-ranked center and a plug-and-play starter. David Ajabo, my top-ranked outside linebacker who would have gone much higher, but now I have to redshirt because he tore his Achilles in his left leg in March. Travis Jones, my second-ranked nose tackle and a defender I thought could go in the top 50. Mel and I are on the same page here, although I was higher on Hamilton and Linderbaum. I thought Kyle Hamilton, and I will happily be wrong on this one if for some chance I am for the first time ever. Kidding a little bit there. Is not a great NFL player. A special blend of size and speed. 6'4", 220. Instincts off the charts. Makes him look even faster than his time numbers are there. Is a little aggressive. Will miss some tackles. Get some blown coverages. But I think he'll probably be more of a box safety for this team to an extent. A split safety as well with Marcus Williams on this roster. Hamilton's going to be a steal. He was my number 1 overall player, and you got him at 14 overall. So do you think, like I kind of do, that Kyle Hamilton was the steal of the draft, or maybe it was Linderbaum, who we'll get into here more in a minute? Type Y for yes and for no if you think Hamilton was the steal of this year's class. While you're down there, by the way, make sure you guys subscribe to get daily Ravens videos all year long. I want to get to 6,000 as soon as possible. Otherwise, I got to do other channels instead. And it's fun to talk about the Ravens, especially now that they crushed this year's draft. I believe that Kyle Hamilton's going to be a star in the NFL. I think when we look back 5 years from now, we're going to go, how the hell did we let the Ravens, one of the best drafting teams, just get Kyle Hamilton? I also think we'll say the exact same thing about Tyler Linderbaum, whose draft selection, by the way, I hope means this team will run more wide zone and zone blocking concepts as opposed to pure power. That's his best fit. Elite athlete, played 6 sports in high school. The NFL was dumb with their handling of Tyler Linderbaum. He should have gone top 15. He is, honestly, if the Ravens had taken him at 14, I would have loved that pick. He was the second best player on my board at that point. And they got him at 25 as part of the traded with Marquise Brown, then trade down scenario. Look, he's only a center. Plug and play. I think this guy is going to be a Pro Bowler, if not an All-Pro, in the NFL. Moving on now to David Ojabo. Gets to play with high school teammate Odafe Owe, with Michigan D coordinator, now Ravens coordinator Mike McDonald. The production was impressive. In 1 year, only playing football at the high level, was a late addition to a high school team. Played 1 year on the field at Michigan. Ojabo would have been a top 20 player for me had he not torn his Achilles. To get him at 45 was pretty darn good value. Just give him a year and be patient. Travis Jones, meanwhile, I thought, like Mel said, could have gone top 50. He was a top 50 player for me. I actually have him above on my board, Ojabo, because of injury only. This is a new long-term nose tackle who brought a little bit more pass rush juice than even Jordan Davis did. That was true on film and statistically. He's not the same run stopper, not the same massive human being or athlete, but he's pretty damn good in his own right. Here's what else Mel had to say on this draft class as it relates to the day 3 picks. Talk about a class of value. This is an outstanding haul, even if we consider Baltimore used all 6 of its 4th-round picks. Of those round 4 picks, tackle Daniel Faalele, tight end Isaiah Likely were my favorites. Likely could be a red zone weapon for Lamar Jackson. I could also see Tyler Beatty making the team because of his special teams ability. This team did a great job filling needs. Everything but receiver got filled. Faalele, who was producer Jeremy's boy, he's very excited about that one. Could be a right tackle option for you. I came in lower on him than most, but higher than where he was drafted. The Senior Bowl, the leverage issues were very much on display. They do have to figure out that one a little bit. I know that Mel's a big fan of the Isaiah Likely pick. I myself actually like the Charlie Kolar pick a little bit more. This is a big body who had great production for Iowa State. Really good athlete as well. 62 catches, 756 yards, 6 touchdowns. Hamstrung by crappy QB play the past 2 years for Iowa State. Brock Purdy simply never got better. So I like Kolar a lot. Now, Likely had even better production. 912 yards, 12 touchdowns, a long of, that's right, folks, 99. I think it was the Houston game. I'll double check that in my notes here real quick. But there was a game in which Isaiah Likely literally could not be guarded, and yet only got the ball 4 times, had over 100 yards. Let me double-check these. Both of these tight ends additions are intriguing. I think they carry 4 this year. Mark Andrews, Likely, Kolar, and assuming Nick Boyle ends up being healthy, he'll be just fine there. The game I was thinking of, Arkansas State. 8 catches, 232 yards, 4 scores. There were some tight ends in this year's class that didn't have 4 touchdowns or 232 yards the entire season. It's pretty crazy, right? In total, Mel gave the Ravens an A. They were the one of 2 teams to get an A in his draft grades. It should have been an A+ if you want to go that route there. I was very impressed by what the Ravens did, so I'm glad I got to espouse some more praise for them. And, of course, I want to hear from you guys. How do you feel about the Ravens draft class this year? Head the comments section and spam your answers. You can vote multiple times, and it'll be like an election, and you can rig the ballot box a little bit. A, B, C, D, or F.